What's going on, Helldivers? A quick tip video for you. I'm going to do the top 5 tips to get you into Helldivers 2. I know a lot of Xbox divers are going to be joining us, along with people just looking for tips in general. So we're going to start this off. The tips are in no important order, but they are definitely important. I wish I knew a lot of these when the game first came out. The game has changed on a few of these tips as well since day one, so I thought I'd throw those at you. I've been streaming the game every day since it came out, and I thought that's the perfect time to spread some of the knowledge that I know. So we're going to start off with tip number 1 is survival through stims and diving. I'm going to show you guys a clip real fast and you guys recognize what I'm doing and how I survived it, because it is a little ridiculous, but it will make sense if you pay attention.
Oh, coming in behind.
We're going to fall back to the next gate, by the way. Oh, come on. As you guys just saw, I was stimming and diving. I was keeping track of how many stims I have the whole time and that I could preemptively stim to keep the healing regen going. That is the #1 tip for surviving. Keeping a stim in your blood will always keep you regenning. So anytime you have a stim, you're regenning health. Most of the time, you're outrunning the enemy's damage. Certain enemies can insta-kill you, but those, you know what I mean, Vile Titan, you get stepped on. But in most cases, you survive some ridiculous stuff by having that heal regen going. And by diving, you're also putting out the fire in that video, along with dodging enemies. As soon as you go prone in a lot of games, the AI kind of will miss when you go prone. So keep that in mind. Also, going prone in this game or changing your stance increases your accuracy tenfold. So make sure you guys are always diving and stimming and laying down, because as soon as you hit that dive, you're technically prone. Your aim is perfect. So keep that in mind for tip number 1. And now for your second tip, guys, is your kit. And by kit, I mean your weapons and your stratagems. Coming down on the battlefield, you could have the wrong stratagems and wrong kit entirely and have a very hard time with that enemy type. Depending on your kit, you can make your day 100 times easier. And that's okay if you want to use a different type of kit against an enemy and you understand that it may be a little bit harder, but everything is about fun, guys. Remember that when I'm talking about kit. But if you do want to have an easier time, certain kits will help you out. I made a video about the ultimate bug kit that can take on the predators, the spore burst, and the regular bugs the other day. If you want to check that out, I'll leave a comment down below so you can click that. But that shows exactly what I'm talking about, is some kits can make your day way easier. Also, if I'm over on the bot front, I'm using marksman rifles. These can insta-kill any enemy underneath a Hulk with just a headshot. But you could use an assault rifle, which could land a 2-shot headshot, or even a submachine gun, your shotguns, or your energy-based explosive weaponry. All of them are viable, but some will make your life easier. If you can hit a headshot, I recommend the marksman rifles. If you can't really hit a headshot, you could always go to like a shotgun and just rip through your enemies, or even use something like the crossbow for your AoE or eruptor for AoE damage. Keep that in mind, guys, when you're picking your kit. It also comes down to your stratagems. I'll show you guys your stratagems right now, just so you guys can see. Your stratagems are broken up into offensive, supply, and defensive. Every stratagem has a purpose. Some work better than others on certain fronts, and that's what we were talking about. Something like the napalm barrage can keep back an entire bug breach for about 30 seconds. I know it seems like it's you know, not enough time, but keeping 30 seconds of enemies back for your entire team is massive. I typically play that category when playing on the bug front of CC, or crowd control. I keep the enemies as far back as possible. I use things such as the napalm barrage mixed with the gas strike, as the gas strike confuses your enemies as they sit inside the fire and burn. But over on the bot front, I aim more for like a walking barrage and an eagle strike, as I need to close and destroy bases as fast as possible. I'm usually running something like the shield bat generator right here to prevent ragdoll. Ragdoll's the #1 component that I hear people complain about on the bot front. A shield backpack can stop all of that for a couple seconds and allow you to land your shots. It also allows me to stand there and, use my railgun for insta-kills on Hulks. So remember that, guys, as you're picking, your kit for every front. If you're having a hard time, it may be time to start changing a little bit. Change your kit, change your weapons. Start watching other players in your group, what they're picking. If they're having an easier time, they're probably doing something a little different than you. So keep that in mind, guys, for tip number 2 being kit. And for the third tip, guys, we're going to talk about map awareness. A lot of people have asked me, how do you understand the map so well? Well, it's actually kind of easy. Understanding where you are right from the beginning can definitely help out. We know our 2 objectives are far right, along with the main objective as well towards the top middle. This is overlooked by a fortress. Fortresses can have command turrets, and remember, that's about the range that they can shoot. So remember that as we go into the command base, we could be getting attacked by the fortress, so we may have to handle that. We also have a secondary objective right in the middle as well. That's 1 of 5 that could be marked for us, so let's keep that in mind. It looks like extraction will be a hot extraction. They have been recently having factory shredders on top of them. I'm going to land right here, guys. It says there's no enemy presence. A good chance we're going to be shot at from all directions, but it will definitely give you guys an idea of paying attention to what's on the map. I'm going to pick a rudimentary kit real fast, guys, just so we can go and take out some of these objectives. But you pick what you want to pick. I play a different type of bot style than most people these days, but it used to be the most popular, which is railgun and shield. So I'll see you down on the battlefield in a second. Alrighty, guys. Well, we're landing down on the battlefield. As you can see, we are still in that southern part. I did have to reload real quick because I keep bringing the sword with me. I typically run a melee build on stream just for fun. And as you can see, our enemy has seen us. So I'm just going to throw walking right towards that, understanding that I'm going to take some fire. I thought I heard a mortar there. I do hear a mortar. But just keep in mind, we now know that there's a mortar to the northeast. You can see my compass at the top. And we know that that's a mortar base right there. So we're going to move towards the detector tower here. We mark it. It is now on our map. We also know by looking at our map, we have enemies directly ahead of us into our escape route. Let's make sure that we handle those problems so we can keep moving. And because we have the shield, we can take our time. I wish I could hit a headshot today, but we have our pistol. Simple as that. That detector tower has not noticed us yet. We can destroy that instantly with a 500. And just being aware that we also have a factory shredder slowly coming up behind us. We need to keep that in mind as we move around. It can insta-kill us with that cannon. Detector tower has been handled. So looking at the map, it looks like we have another mortar base or an AA right here. Let's go take a look. I'm not going to go into too much depth and clear this solo for you guys just to show you, but it looks like we have a mortar base here and an AA or a mortar here. This is a typical factory, and this also looks like typical factories. Let's keep that in mind. I thought that would be a mortar, though. It probably is. It just looks a little weird. But just paying attention to the map and seeing where the bullets are coming from can definitely help you out. Extraction is super hot. I can tell just by that, enemy presence. It's kind of like an enemy presence on the map, a little overlay. Let's see. Yep, it is filled with enemies. Let's see if we can make our way through. I am always scared of turrets, and it is a mortar. So our railgun is able to handle those. I can hear the mortar shots coming. We have a factory up on the hill as well. We don't need to use our constitution the whole time. It's not really needed. And you guys can see I'm wearing the blue armor. It's just extra padding. It's the same as your starter kit. So if you're just starting, don't worry about it. The extra padding seems to be one of the best perks in the game for me. It allows me to have heavy armor with medium armor speed. It allows me to kind of keep moving. It sounds like we have flyers overhead. I know it's not a flyer base because we didn't see a flyer base. There's our Hulk. Knowing your kit will definitely get you out of a bad situation. I know this kit very well. I've used it hundreds and hundreds of times. And there's our mortar base. Similar to what I said. Mortar base right there. Fire down. Is our walking ready? No. Let's 500 it just so we can make a mess. Should handle multiple. For whatever reason, it doesn't get marked as easy as it used to. But as you can see, we have a lot of machine gun dudes. I'm going to preemptively stim and keep moving. The railgun is able to kill our target in front of us. And that's done. So we do have another base right next to us. I'm looking at our map. I understand where all the red little dots are. And I do see a path out. So let's keep moving. But yeah, I see a lot of people getting lost. Understand where your enemies are coming from, what is going on all around you at all times. And just hold that information for a second. You can look as much as you want. Keep that map every second that you got, because it will let you know what you're walking into. Big red circles are usually a bigger enemy. Little red circles are enemies you can usually insta-kill with a marksman rifle or a pistol. Currently being flanked. As you can see, they are coming up all around me. I also have a drop coming in, so there's no need to stay. I don't need to sit there and take the fight to them. Yes, not a Helldiver way to run away, but it's definitely a way to survive. I'm refocusing. Yeah, Constitution's probably not the way to go when trying to solo to show you guys, but it works. It's a lot of fun. I can use the talent as my primary. So yeah, guys, that's a quick little overview of map awareness. I can definitely get into it with bugs as well. Just looking around and understanding what you're looking at. If you have stalkers coming at you from the east, you know that there's a stalker nest in the east. Go and find it. The structure is all very similar most of the time. And we're looking at, what, another factory right there. Not a big deal. So yeah, guys, that's it for map awareness. Let's move on to tip number 4. Alrighty, guys, for the 4th tip. This one is kind of it's an early starter tip, but it's definitely one to remember, is understanding ammo. Ammo, not like Call of Duty. If I reload early, I lose that mag. Weapons that have mags, if you reload early, will lose what's left in that mag. You are dropping it on the ground. You are not conserving that mag. It's not ready or not where you keep the mag in your pocket. For Call of Duty, where the mag somehow has ammo move between magazines. Any weapon that uses magazines has this problem. As you can see, I'm just reloading the MG a little early, and I just lost all the extra ammo in that mag. But if you use a weapon that uses something like a slug, you do not lose that, such as shotguns don't have that, or a grenade launcher. I brought the de-escalator so I could show you guys that as well. We're also fighting over on the illuminate front. Just another little change in what scenery. But as you can see, I'm using the knight. If I reload that early, I lose that mag. So keep reloading down to a minimum, guys. I know a lot of Xbox drivers have not played with that system often, especially if you're a Call of Duty kind of guy. Some weapons are, however, a little bit different as well, such as the MG emplacement or the autocannon. The MG emplacement here, or the HMG emplacement is what I should call it, just keeps shooting until it runs out of ammo. It'll go back into the ground after it runs out of ammo. You can keep using it. It has, you know, all the bullets that you need. Just gun down this breach real quick. And just cut down the enemy. And it keep firing until it runs out of ammo. There's no overheat as you see in some other games. It just keeps firing. And then we have weapons such as the autocannon. The autocannon can fire as long as you have a backpack on to reload. If you don't have the backpack on or a teammate comes over to reload you, you will run out of ammo. That's pretty easy. You usually pick up your own backpack. If someone wants to help you with a backpack, that's awesome. And let's make sure we don't reload too early. We don't want to lose all that ammo and have to go find supplies. But that's just a quick overview. Also, ammos can have different types. As you can see on the flak on the far left, I have flak or AFET. Basically, armor piercing versus flak rounds. And I can switch those on the fly. I don't have to reload again to change between them. So if I want to switch, to armor piercing, I can do that. Or I can switch right back to flak immediately. There's no need to reload. So that goes over ammo quickly for you guys. I know that's a quick tip, but it's definitely a useful one if you're just getting started. Let's move on to tip number 5. And it's time for tip number 5, guys. We're back on the bot front, and this tip is all about aiming. A lot of people have asked me, I got crazy aim. No, it's more I just understand how aiming works. As you can see, I have a crosshair and I have a little white circle. The white circle is actually where the bullet's going to hit. So as long as that white circle is on your enemy, you should hit your target right where you're aiming. Always make sure that you're following that white circle. I will say when laying down, the white circle is a lot more accurate onto the crosshair. When you're moving around and things like that, your crosshair is all over the place. You can see it's always moving. When I'm laying down, it's a little bit more right on the spot. It allows me to hit some crazy shots. This affects all weaponry, guys. All weaponry has a little bit different. Your ergo will affect how fast it clicks onto your crosshair. But if you're always moving, you're never going to hit your shots. So immediately after diving, your crosshair is perfect. Whether you're aiming down sights, as I missed every single shot, or, you know, flying through the air in third person. A lot of dudes. And as you can see, as soon as you dive, that ergo goes to max. So make sure you guys know that I said it earlier, if you dive, you now have prone accuracy. So as soon as you hit that button, you're proning. So always keep that in mind. Accuracy becomes perfect. I can type in my 500 and keep moving. But that's what makes the railgun kind of one of my favorites, is I can just kind of hit any target with that. You'll be fine almost 95% of the time. But as you can see, it's all over the place. I go crouch. It becomes a little bit tighter on the... You can see my crosshair becomes tight. Watch the little white lines. Tighter and the tightest it can be. That affects how fast that circle will reach its point, whether I'm aiming down sights or just, you know, 3Ping. I prefer, on a lot of my marksman rifles, I prefer to aim down sights, except for the Constitution. It doesn't have a scope, so there's no need. But you can, with the customization that's changed, you definitely have the option to keep changing between sights. Some people prefer only to 3P, which is totally fine. It gets you the job done. As you can see, totally fine. Yeah, guys, that's just a quick tip on aiming. A lot of people don't know that that white circle means that's where the bullet's going to hit, and that's going to be the hardest thing to learn when you first drop Xbox Divers. Get used to it. It'll save you and be a lot of fun. And that's it for this tips video, Helldivers. Welcome my Xbox Divers into our community. Welcome all new Helldivers into the community. I hope you guys enjoyed these tips. I'm going to make more tips videos as it goes on, as I said. But I hope these help you get, you know, your first feet onto the ground and battling. So I'll see you ODSTs down there. Let's enjoy the game together. Have fun, everybody.